kailabreece.
Recently, I've had the pleasure of discussing Islam with a new online friend, and in the process, we began to talk about faith. Not dogma or any specific scripture, but the very idea of faith. Faith is the confident belief or trust in the truth or trustworthiness of an idea, and in respects to religion, faith is the belief in a transcendent reality or a supreme being. The English word faith is actually Latin, and it means trust. And as with trust, faith does not rely on logical proof or material evidence. Faith is in general the persuasion of the mind that a certain statement is true. It is the belief that the truth declared by another, based on their authority, is reliable. Now, the very idea that faith is founded on trusting an authority and not any sort of material evidence has given rise to many deviations, especially when claiming faith in the supernatural sense. The great novelist Oscar Wilde wrote, "Skepticism is the beginning of faith." I think by this, Mr. Wilde is recognizing that faith is the result of doubt. Rationalists criticize religious faith, arguing its irrationality, and see faith as ignorance of reality, a strong belief in something with no evidence, and sometimes a strong belief in something even with evidence against it. Bertrand Russell noted, "Where there is evidence, no one speaks of faith. We do not speak of faith that 2 and 2 are 4, or that the earth is round. We only speak of faith when we wish to substitute emotion for evidence." However, the defenders of faith say that belief in scientific evidence is itself based on faith. They claim that faith is perfectly compatible with and does not necessarily contradict reason. Implicit faith meaning an assumed belief. Many Jews, Christians, and Muslims claim that there is adequate historical evidence of their God's existence. St. Thomas Aquinas once wrote, "To one who has faith, no explanation is necessary. To one without faith, no explanation is possible." My question to my fellow intellectuals is this: what do you think about faith? Is faith important? Can faith open our eyes, or can it blind us? Can faith be truth? Or does the very invoking of faith automatically establish an absence of legitimacy? One of my favorite writers is Khalil Gibran. If you aren't already familiar with his works, I highly recommend them. He once wrote that faith is knowledge within the heart, beyond the reach of proof. I agree. Faith is beyond proof. Faith and certainty are not synonymous. It's either true or you have faith that it is true. I personally think faith is a beautiful thing, but when we have what is called blind faith, where an individual sees faith and certainty in the same light, we are pretending and lying to ourselves. But with that said, no amount of evidence can ever expel faith. Mr. Gibran is so right. Faith is knowledge within the heart. Faith is hope. Faith is optimism. Faith is desire. Faith is a wish. Faith is a deep trust in something greater. I say to those without faith, you are only half human. And those with faith, it must be a faith with doubt, or it's not faith, but blind zeal. This is kailabreece. What do you know?